What's going on, guys? Welcome to episode 189 of the Tasty Cast, our weekly podcast where we talk about all things gaming. On this episode, we discuss games we've been playing, including Street Fighter VI and Final Fantasy XVI. We go into what we like about the game, but we don't talk spoilers, so don't worry. We won't be spoiling anything for you, and please don't do it as well in the comments. We also react to the Nintendo Direct that happened 4 days ago. I had no idea this thing happened until recently, and we react to it. We talk about it. Some big announcements here. For the Switch, and I kind of theorized that we'll be getting a Nintendo console announcement within the next year or two, and it's really cool to see how many games they still have lined up to get dumped at the end of this year. Apparently, plenty of games. We also read your comments. This is a little short of a Tasty Cast because we have Game of the Month and Plus Club coming out the end of this week. It's a busy week for us, but we still made time to do the Taste Cast. So hopefully you guys enjoy what we do in this episode, what we talk about, and our reactions to your comments, and leave comments in this episode as well so we can reply to you in the next Tasty Cast. And yeah, do us a favor and like this video, subscribe if you're brand new, share it with your friends, and do all the stuff that people always tell you in these videos. We appreciate it, and I hope you enjoy this Taste Cast. Let's get into it. What's going on, guys, and welcome to episode 189 of the Taste Cast, our weekly podcast where we talk about all things gaming. My name's Seth, and of course, joining me today is Chevy. Chevy, we covered a lot of the events that happened doing streams and stuff a little while back, and taking a little bit of break, but we also recently over on Tasty Flicks did some reviews, in case people are interested in those, and those have been Hell's Paradise, episode 12. We finished out Demon Slayer, the finale, and we just watched for the first time Jujutsu Kaisen 0, the movie, and reviewed that. So, been keeping busy with content. How you doing since those reviews and those streams that we did? And are you ready to finally finish out the events? Because I had no idea a Nintendo Direct happened, and we'll be covering that today.
Doing pretty good. I haven't really done much since the last time we recorded. So I don't really have much to report on in that regard, but I did know that there was a Nintendo Direct and tried to avoid stuff, but there's one title in there that literally everyone on the internet talked about at once, and so it was unavoidable.
I haven't seen anything on it, but I think I know what you're talking about because I saw it pop up and I just kind of scrolled past it because I assumed it was just like, I didn't know what it was. I was like, okay, whatever. And then oddly enough, this is how I was kind of just ready to just take a break from all the big events that happened. I wasn't even thinking about Nintendo Direct. And a coworker who's not particularly into games asked me, "Hey, what'd you think of that Nintendo Direct?" And I was like, "What Nintendo Direct?" He's like, "The one that just happened." I was like, "There was a Nintendo Direct?" He's like, "Yeah." And he's like, "Blah blah got announced." I was like, "Oh." So yeah, that's how I found out, and we'll be covering that today. But it'll be interesting because I was wondering where Nintendo was when it came to all these events. There was a huge absence from them. So, and this came out like 4 days ago, so it's not too old, but definitely seems like it's like the end point of the events. I hope it'd be weird if somebody else kind of snuck out another event real fast, and I find out from somebody else I wouldn't suspect. Would tell me about that. But,
right.
But yeah, I'm kind of in the same boat. As we've said in the last 2 Tasty Casts, it's summer, so work hours have been more mixed with the gym, mixed with the many streams we did and the many projects we've been working on in terms of content. It's been kind of a blur, and in terms of getting games in, not as many as I would like, because time, but I have played a couple things, and we will talk about that, of course, in what we've been playing. But with that, do you have anything else to say before we jump into that? All right, so let's jump into what we've been playing. We're talking about the games we've been playing in the last week or so. So I'm going to go through the games that I can't talk about yet, but I can confirm I have played, and I am really getting down to the wire here. In case you guys are curious, typically on the last weekend of every month, we do Plus Club at the very least. In Game of the Month, I normally wait till the last day or the first day of the next month to do, but we had a whole week. after this last weekend, and I was like, I don't want to cut us that short in terms of like
Time.
being able to play those games fully. So we will be releasing it later this week. But yeah, I've been playing those games. I still have one to play, and that game is Jurassic World Evolution 2. The reason I haven't played that this month is because I haven't had a game like that. You got to spend time with. You can't just pop in, play it for an hour, and leave. You got to like sit with it. And I just haven't had the time to do that. I'm going to make that time before the end of this week. We're already heading towards that. But I have had a chance to play ESO. Me and you played together a little bit. And then I played by myself, and I played some Necrom, which is the new expansion, and I've played the Arcanist. I won't say what I think of any of that, but that's what I've been doing. Stay tuned for our Game of the Month where we'll discuss what we think of that. And then I've been playing Trek to Yomi. I'm like a couple hours into it, and yeah, I'll be able to talk about that. I am definitely going to play it more, though, before the end of the week for Plus Club. And then I played NBA 2K23. I've uninstalled the game. And a quick behind-the-scenes thing. My review might not be as interesting as it possibly could be because I refused to sign up for their online service because it's not a game I planned on staying with for too long. So might come up short in terms of there's like a career mode or something. But we'll talk about it more. Just giving you kind of a sneak peek at where I'm at when it comes to those games. So yeah, the only game really I've had a chance to play this week, and we actually played it quite a bit with a couple drinks. It was fun hanging out, playing in the same room, not online. We played Street Fighter 6, which was my first time playing Street Fighter 6 since the demo beta that came out where you could only play as Luke and not Guile, Ryu. So that was the only time I've ever played the game until now, and I think I got kind of thrown into the deep end a bit in terms of like figuring things out, but I have played the game quite a bit now. I've seen a lot of the stages. I've played every character, and I gotta say, and I haven't experienced everything about this game, the game's really good. And for anybody who watches regularly, you guys know I'm not a big Street Fighter guy. And in fact, the last two Street Fighters, as much as I appreciate them, they're not really my kind of fighting game. And this, if I'm being honest, isn't my kind of fighting game either, really. But the quality's there, and it plays really well. Yeah, so from what I gathered from my experience with Street Fighter 6 playing against you, I don't think I played against Sarah, but she played when we were playing. Played against Josh. The graphics are great. The movement's probably the best Street Fighter has had. It has a lot of intricate and interesting systems for comboing and ways to defend yourself, something I wasn't grasping as well as I could have under a couple drinks. My timing was not the best. There is a block mechanic like you expect from any fighting game, but there's also like a take no damage block that is limited. You rebuild that though, right? As you fight?
It slowly recharges.
Yeah. So yeah, eventually I start getting that down, but I like that you have the two options, and then yeah, like 3 levels of supers that you can do, whatever they're called, which is pretty neat.
Special arts or whatever.
Special arts, and yeah, I mean the game from what I've experienced, which is playing versus, playing against computer. I went into the hub real quick. I played against some real people, but I was still in the ranking part of the game, so yeah, it wasn't that crazy. And I also played some of the arcade games that are in the hub, which I think is awesome that you even access to that. There's one game I'd never even heard of called Angel something that was horrendous. I hated it, but the other games they had were really cool, and you can play them like multiplayer with people in the same room as well, so that's kind of cool. Definitely gives you the old school vibes. But yeah, from what I've experienced, and I have not played the story build a character mode
World Tour
yet, but Jesus. But yeah, from what I have played, the game is very high quality. I actually really like the atmosphere they went for with the game. It has a fun feeling to it. They really embrace the Street Fighter in this a little bit. There's like a lot of like, like graffiti and like very like street culture type stuff going on in it. And I even like the small detail of like when you get ready to fight somebody, there's like a walkout theme that happens, and you can like change your face when you're looking at each other, which is an interesting touch. So yeah, a lot of really cool little things that they didn't have to do in this game that they did, which makes it really feel like it's a proper sequel that definitely earns the title of Street Fighter 6, which I really like. In terms of characters that I played them all. Old characters that I never liked, I still don't like. I was never a big E Honda guy. I'm not a fan of him still. I did used to like Dalsim, but I don't like him in this. He's just really kind of extra stretchy compared to what I remember him being like. There's a couple of moves where his arms were like across the map, just like all over the place, and I wasn't hitting anything. So, Guile's still cool. Ryu's still cool. Ken's still cool. Chun-Li feels different than she's ever felt. She's like a lot more fast paced. She's always been like a fast fighter, but like she has a lot of moves where she's doing like crazy movements and fast attacks that I'm not used to seeing her do, but they felt fitting. Cammy, I do not remember in any way what her moves are and how she plays. I remember back in the day some of her moves, but I just wasn't seeing those with her, so it almost felt like a new character to me again, which was really weird. And I'm sure anyone who was used to Cammy in prior Street Fighters know her and know how to play her really well. But yeah, for some reason she felt very weird for me. I really like Juri. I think that's her name. The chick that I've seen too many memes of about her feet. And she's kind of ridiculous as a character, but her moveset's really good. She's kind of like, I don't know what her fight style is, but it kind of reminds me of like a kickboxing or some kind of footwork type martial art. So yeah, she's really interesting. There's two smaller characters that are fast. I don't remember their names. One has some weapons, one doesn't, but I like both of them, even though I need to learn their moves. And yeah, Luke kind of just feels like Ryu and Ken, but I don't know, a lot of his moves feel a little more close range. A lot of like quick punches that are powerful, but they're like close. But I do believe he has a distance.
He throws sand.
Oh, he throws sand?
Mm.
Interesting. And yeah, I can't remember anyone else off the top of my head right now. I was kind of bummed to see they don't have
JP a little bit.
JP.
Wizard dude.
Oh yeah, that guy I played as a joke a couple times, and I was doing better than I expected.
Yeah.
There was one. Again, alcohol was involved. There's one match where I was fighting Josh, who's been playing this game pretty regularly, and I was just kind of, I don't want to say I was just button mashing, because I was trying to find the moves as I was hitting the buttons, but I was hitting buttons rapidly, and I was kind of overwhelming him with moves, and I started jokingly just talking shit at him. Just nonstop as it was happening. I think I started psyching him out because I ended up beating him, which is ridiculous, and it was in no way skill based. But that guy, I looked at him like, I hate his hair, I hate the way he looks, I hate his whole premise of he's like this magic user. And then I used him. I'm like, I kind of like the distance that he has. It kind of reminds me of like Keelik. He's not like Keelik, but it reminds me of my playstyle with Keelik and like Soul Calibur, where I can defend at long range and hit at close range. That's kind of his thing. And so I kind of liked him more than I thought. So I guess you can't judge characters off the way they look.
No, especially in this game.
I just saw the way he was doing magic, and I'm like, I don't know if I like that. But and I played him. I'm like, no, his moveset kind of works for me. But yeah, bummed no Vega, no M. Bison, which is really interesting.
None of the original 4 bosses.
I know Akuma's coming.
Yes.
Which will be interesting. Hopefully he's not OP. Every time Akuma's in any Street Fighter, he always feels OP. He's always like Ryu and Ken, but like way more powerful. And it's like those characters are already like the quintessential characters of every fighting game ever. Like, you know how to play them as soon as you pick them up, and he's similar to them, but just like really strong. Oh, and Blanca, dude, what the hell? Like, I used to like Blanca back in the day. In this, I wasn't a big fan of him, but he's like goofy in this. But it's fun. It's fun. The game has so much character to it. I was really I don't know, man. It just feels like they didn't pull any punches on this game, which I really kind of appreciate. Like, it does feel like a full-fledged game, and it does feel like they went in a different direction and it worked. So it feels confident. And
I think I read today that Evo has had more Street Fighter participants sign up for this year's Evo than ever before now. So Street Fighter 6 is doing something right.
it seems like it, because like I said, I haven't really had an interest in Street Fighter, like a strong one, for like the last two iterations of the game. I mean, I loved Super Street Fighter 2 back in the day. 3 I thought was okay. I like the alpha games, but I'm not like I didn't play them a lot, but I liked them. But yeah, 4 and 5. I remember when 4 first came out, I thought it was like really, it felt like, you know, the next generation of Street Fighter. But then 5 came out, it didn't feel like that for me. And both of them felt kind of like sluggish in movement. I almost feel like Alpha felt better in its movement and
Alpha's
combat.
pretty hyper.
Yeah. So I mean, and that's just you know, a taste thing, because I like fast-paced combat, or games that offer both. And Street Fighter 4 and 5, specifically 5, I remember every character felt kind of stiff, and mobility wasn't a big factor in terms of combat. This though definitely feels like there's a variety of play styles for sure, because like playing Zangief is a very different experience than playing you know, one of the small people. I forgot their names. There's 2 girls that are very fast-paced characters.
I can't remember either. I think one's Kimberly and
That sounds very familiar.
the hell's the other one's name? I can't remember. But,
Yeah. But anyone who played the game probably knows who I'm talking about. They're like on the second row at the top.
the spray paint ninja and the wind girl.
Yeah.
So
But yeah, I think Jury, even though she's not a new character, apparently, I don't know her from the last game, so I apparently never tried her. I really liked her moveset. I'd like to practice and get good with that character, and maybe the fucking mage guy, which I
JP.
did not expect. But as I was just kind of fucking around with him, I was like, wait, I can hit you over there, and then when we get close, I can hit you here. His like mid range sucks. There's probably a move for it, but like for me, just messing around, I was able to hit really far away and really close up. But when they're mid range, I was like,
He also has, you did it on an accident a couple times, but there's a object you put in the sky, and you can either make something come out of it or you can teleport to that point. So yeah, he's got a lot of tricks in his sleeves for sure.
Yeah, definitely did that on accident. I said I definitely did that on accident, because I don't remember.
Yeah, I watched you do it a couple times.
Yeah.
But you were also kind of, like you said, kind of focusing on talking.
I was talking a lot of shit
Talk shit with
nonstop,
Josh, yeah.
dude. I was using 50-50. Like, it's like when you're playing a space game and you got to like turn down your power on your
Engine to go to
thrusters
shields or
to
whatever.
put the shields up, or your shooting ability. Like for me, I can talk shit 100%, but if I'm gonna play, I got to turn down to 50 and turn my gameplay to 50, or turn my talk shit down all the way and put my gameplay to 100. There is no multitasking for me. There's just good at one thing or okay at both. So, yeah. But Street Fighter 6 is a lot of fun, a lot of good. And I'll probably pick it up at some point. It's not a top priority right now, but I do want to play it more, because I would like to practice with some characters at my own leisure. Yeah, that's what I've been playing.
All right.
Well, Street Fighter 6.
As mentioned, I also played Street Fighter 6 same night. I haven't been playing a lot because of another game I've been playing, which we'll get to in a minute. But
Oh shit!
go ahead.
I played Final Fantasy 16. I'll just wait till you talk about it.
Okay. Spoiler alert. Yeah, I played Final Fantasy. Not Final Fantasy. I played Final Fantasy 16, but I played Street Fighter 6. I have played a little bit before, but I'm not like a big Street Fighter guy either. I do like some of the older ones. The Alpha series is probably one of my favorites. That and Capcom versus SNK 2 was a big one for me. But for the most part, I like that style. But Street Fighter always was like not quite my speed. I think with 6, they've done a good job of making the combat feel good for a variety of different players, especially with the different play styles now. I've seen other games attempt a modern style or a simplistic style to get new players in, and I think Street Fighter's works really well. I prefer classic myself because I do have some background with fighting games, but I am absolutely casual. I'm not even close to being a sweaty. So far I like Ken the most, but that's kind of a safe bet. Always picking. I always usually kind of start with those characters, get a feel for how the game feels, anyways, because it's kind of like going to a pizza place and trying their pepperoni and seeing how their pepperoni tastes someone else's pepperoni pizza. So, I love the World Tour mode. I think that mode alone is worth buying the game for. You don't have to first people. It's literally a single player RPG, basically. It's a lot of fun. It is, a little repetitive because, combat is literally a fighting game. But, and the quests are, go beat up this guy, go beat up this guy, go beat up this guy. That's as simple as it gets. But there's a lot of, outfits and stuff like that you can get. You can customize your character. You can change your character's appearance at any time. There's little side quests with random, people, different like street gangs, and then you have your mentors, which are like the cast of the game. Which your first one is Luke. He's kind of like the poster child of the game, and then eventually you find the other people, and you can adapt and learn their move style and mix and match them. It's a lot of fun. The Battle Hub is really cool. It's probably one of my favorite online hubs in a fighting game. Mostly just because it's really, really intuitive and it's really easy to understand. You just like show up. There's arcade cabinets and you just sit across from someone as you would in real life, or next to them in real life or whatever. But and you just fight each other.
Or you can spectate other people playing.
Or you can just watch. Yeah, which is fun in its own right. If you're into fighting games, you enjoy watching them as much as playing them, I think. So
I could see as a social factor as well, people who don't even want to really fight people hanging out in that hub.
Yeah.
And talking with people and then watching other people fight and stuff. So
it was a good way to kind of learn too.
Yeah.
It has the arcade section, like you said, and the one corner where you can like play old school games. They rotate those out, which is kind of neat. There's some social stuff, like there's a big screen you can watch. It'll occasionally have people's matches on there. It'll have like promos for the game, stuff like that. Tournament announcements, etc. There's a DJ booth upstairs. You can literally like sit there and play songs, and people can like do goofy dances and stuff like that in front of it. There is a clothing store that is only in the hub that you can do. There is, unfortunately, a battle pass which has a ton of cosmetics in it as well if you pay for it. Modern gaming, unfortunately. Yeah, I don't know. It's a lot of fun. I don't think I could recommend it enough, just because I think it's a great starting point for someone who may be interested in playing fighting games, because it just offers so much at any level of difficulty. Even if you are interested in playing online, you do 10 placement matches, and the first like 2 or 3 are against a computer anyways.
Yeah, my first match was your
first
NPC.
2 were NPC, yeah. And then your first match was against someone who was definitely new. It felt like the second match, the guy seemed to know what he was doing, and then it kind of went back down to someone who was kind of new feeling. So it was definitely trying to feel you out pretty good, I think. So, yeah. Anyways, it's a lot of fun. I was also playing. I can't really go too much into like the details because, like he had mentioned, we had been drinking, and I got to a point where, unfortunately, I enjoy playing fighting games with the D-pad, but that does come consequences if you don't do it often. The same as someone who doesn't play guitar for a long time, and then they start strumming. Your fingers get pissy and will blister if you push yourself too much. So I had to chill.
Yeah, my
for a
thumb
bit.
still feels a little irritated.
Yeah. So I gotta condition it if I'm gonna play hardcore, but playing it pretty casually right now because I've also been playing Final Fantasy 16. Which is kind of my priority right now because I want to play it, but I also kind of need to play it before stuff starts getting spoiled for me. So,
Yeah, whether people spoil it or people get comfortable enough, like, well, it's been out for a week and a half. Might as well tell everybody what happens.
But I don't want to rush through it because it's kind of one of those games where I want to do everything in it. Mm-hmm. And I'm actually pretty tempted to do the New Game Plus. If I beat it and I love it, I'll probably do the New Game Plus because it does give a different experience for the same storyline.
Yeah, for anybody who doesn't know, apparently it increases the level cap and changes enemy placements and
gives you the ultimate weapons.
Yeah, so it's a whole new experience, which is great to hear.
Mm-hmm. What can I say?
Yeah, no spoilers.
Yeah,
obviously not.
The game is beautiful. It is a PlayStation 5 exclusive currently. I think it's 6-month exclusivity, but I think the dev said even after the 6 months, it won't be ready for PC yet. It's going to take some work. So, it's a very good looking game. It has the typical things you would expect in a modern console game, which is a frame rate and graphics setting or choice. I'm playing on frame rate, but I am running into what seems to be a relatively common issue, which is there is some slowdown from time to time. Not enough to ruin my experience, but it's noticeable. So hopefully they get that ironed out, because honestly, that's my only complaint so far. The only one I got.
The only thing I've noticed for me when it comes to frame rate, because you said you experienced some stuttering too, but
Yeah.
my frame rate will drop from like 60 to like 40. So it's not even like it's like getting to the point where it looks like it's lagging, but you can just tell for a second that the frame rate's dropping.
Well, they did say when you're not in combat, it's 30.
Oh, really?
And when you're in combat, it's 60.
Oh, it's interesting.
Yeah.
Because, yeah, when I played the quality mode, whatever it's called, graphics mode, it definitely was a little too sluggish for me. It looked good, but I was like, I can't play an action game that's not, at 60 frames per second, or at least trying to. I'm just kind of adding real quick, because I've also played it, not as much as you at this point, but I have put like 5 hours into it, not much, but enough to have an opinion. If I have one complaint in the whole game, and it's not a complaint, it's like a small nitpick, the side-to-side movement is weird looking to me. But other than that, there's nothing wrong with it.
Side to side.
Yeah, when you press left or right while running forward, your guy moves weird. It's a small nitpick.
Oh,
but
yeah, I was saying.
it is
I didn't notice it.
yeah. Well, I notice that in every game, movement and stuff like that, and in a game that looks this good, seeing that, I'm like, that's weird. But at the same time, I wonder if it's intentional, because you do a lot of like running down glorified hallways, and so it might be just a way to kind of strafe over to left and right real quick easily to grab things, or maybe in combat. But I did notice the animation of it looks kind of weird, especially if you go left and right real quick. Any game that's not going to look natural, but it really kind of shows off the movement. But I'm weird like that and pay attention to everything. But if that's my one nitpick in the whole game so far, it's not. It's nothing.
For sure.
It means nothing.
The combat is as simple or as complicated as you want it to be, but depending on how long you want your fights to take, if you take advantage of your arsenal, you can burn people down pretty quickly. But if you tend to play more defensively, as I tend to,
I'm the opposite.
it takes a while for things to die. So staggering is kind of the name of the game, and it's hard to stagger things when you aren't being aggressive. So also, I don't know if I'm just getting older or whatever, but I can't dodge for shit in this game. I'm trash at it. I'm literally bitching at myself the whole time I'm playing the game. But that is definitely a personal issue.
I love the dodge in this game, because I feel like it's fair, and I think
I agree with that.
the timing of it, the timing of it I think is good, and the animation is not only satisfying when you kind of get a silhouette of where you were when you get out of the way, when you get a perfect dodge, but then when you strike after that, there's like a bigger attack that happens, and
larger stagger damage.
It feels fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Especially with how responsibly fast-paced the combat is in this game compared to prior Final Fantasies.
Well, and you're supposed to be like that's optimally what you're doing, because those perfect dodge strikes raise the stagger higher, and then comboing between melee and magic constantly makes the stagger up faster as well. So.
And the return of proper magic is so appreciated.
Agreed.
Since because notoriously I was critical of Final Fantasy 15, and then I ended up beating it. I ended up loving the story and loving the villain and the characters, all that stuff. But I always felt like I was kind of going through the motions in the combat. And that game was a Franken game anyway. But and for what it's worth, it turned out fine. But there's some things there they didn't get quite right. I think the combat's one of those things. The combat was like fine, but there's a lot of teleporting, and then there's magic in it, but I never fucking used it. because it just wasn't appealing. And in this, it's just like straightforward magic, and I'm like, thank you.
I mean, it's literally one of your hit. It's just a hit.
It's just an attack, yeah. But it's just like magic. You press a button, you shoot a fucking fireball. Like,
let's see. On the subject of graphics, the in-engine cutscenes that are happening are fantastic, and definitely is the reason why this is not on last gen, because they're rendering in real time while that's going, and it is impressive. So
one of my favorite things about this, well, I like a lot of things about this game. One of my favorite things about this game, though, is it's utilizing the SSD on the PS5, and so you get these real seamless, and they've been doing seamless transitions between games and cinematics forever now, but like this game just really does the seamless transitions very well in terms of cinematic happens, then you're right back into gameplay or in the middle of gameplay and just seamlessly goes right into some kind of cinematic that happens. And then even like, going from room to room or teleporting or whatever, it's like there's like no waiting around, which is like
no, you just play.
Yeah, it's really nice.
Crazy.
Like the whole experience is just smooth.
Yeah, and I won't say details, obviously, because I don't want to spoil anything, but in the second icon fight, it's very cinematic leading up to it, to the point where, like, during the cinematic, the hit point bars just show up, and you start playing. I was like, damn, okay, like, super cool. They're definitely showing off a lot, which is fine. I love it. The game is super cinematic. You're either going to love or hate that. I love role-playing games. It's kind of one of the big things is the story and the movie parts of it are fun for me.
I'm a very strong defender of Metal Gear Solid's cinematics. So when people are like, well, you don't really play them. Like, I don't care. Those scenes are great. I love them.
And so far, every scene in this game has been great. Paired with, no surprise, an amazing soundtrack because of Soken. That guy's a genius, dude.
It's a varied soundtrack too, which I really appreciate. It is really good. The beginning of the song, there's certain classic songs that are kind of remixed in certain ways, which I thought were clever, and then other songs that are completely original that are really interesting. But I've noticed every location has its own song, and they're all really. They kind of remind me of old school RPGs, but also very modern. It's interesting, the mix. It feels like classic Final Fantasy style music, but also has this like modern twist to it that makes it feel like a modern game, like a next gen game, like a brand new Final Fantasy. So he really handled, from what I've seen so far and heard, the music very well. He's handled it really good.
And it does a really good job of, you don't even really notice it, but like it'll be playing a track. So like we'll use an example of a boss fight, right? And as the fight is progressing, it'll actually just slowly become more and more intense, and it'll actually start changing up a lot. And because it's so gradual, you don't even notice, and it just definitely adds, because like that intensity starts building and building. They do. I mean, it's really great.
Yeah.
The voice acting is phenomenal.
It's good.
I often kind of poke fun at Square Enix for their choices in voice actors for their English casting. Lately, that's not been a thing, but this game they really decided to be very, very picky about it, which is great.
It's probably, I can't think of a Square Enix game that has better voice acting.
I can't either. And I love the cast in 14, but they're not as...
I think that Final Fantasy VII Remake had good voice acting for the most part, except for I don't like the guy who plays Sephiroth. But everyone else does their job fine. But it does still come off kind of like Western adaptations of like Japanese characters, almost
caricatures,
kind of anime like where they're trying to be like these anime characters, but it's like Western, so you can kind of hear their attempted emulation, but this doesn't have that at all. This feels like written almost for Western audiences, and like you said before, the lip mocapping
was made in English first.
Was made for English first, so it's interesting, and with the voice acting, they just sell the characters really well.
Yeah, and the guy who plays Clive, the main character, he can go from being kind of just like cold and kind of one note to exploding with emotion.
I
So.
really like that he is a multi-layered dynamic character because a lot of RPGs in general, but Final Fantasy for sure, will have characters, specifically main characters, who are kind of like one note. They'll have emotions, but like they're kind of like the brooding, quiet dude or, something. But he goes from like he never comes off as just like the brooding dude. He's a little like gruff in the way he talks to people, but he's also like a badass, but also like he's got like some charisma to him in certain parts of the story, and he just feels like a more rounded character than I was expecting, especially from when I saw the art style when the game was originally shown off. I was like, okay, red, black, he's got hair, like, he's probably going to be some quiet, like, brooding dude, but, like, he's, like, a much more rounded character than that.
Yeah. And though they were definitely, like, very archetyped, I think they did a good job in even Final Fantasy 15, though, with the characters. Like, the cast was really good. But, yeah, I do think Clive is very interesting as a character so far, a little bit, and especially after the last part he did. He showed off even more of his range, which was fun. I know it's going around the internet with Sid, but Sid's voice is quite pleasant to listen to the point of there's a lot of thirsty people out there listening to that guy. So, let's see. What else can I talk about without talking about story stuff? The crafting system's really simple, which is nice. So it's really easy to make and upgrade weapons, though I haven't had a chance to use any of them because unfortunately the pre-order weapon has been so strong that I'm finally getting stuff that's close to it. So
I don't know if I pre-ordered it technically.
Yeah, it's just the Warrior Light sword from like Final Fantasy 1, but which looks kind of goofy. But I'm looking forward to getting rid of it and having something that like fits his character a little better. Stats are super simplified because they definitely want to focus on it being an action game. So like you level, your stats just kind of go up, and the equipment is very linear. Like it's more defense and hit points. That's it. That's what it does. And then sometimes a substat at the bottom, and it's like attack up or your fire move up, stuff like that. So accessible for sure. The complicated aspect of it comes into mixing and matching moves as you unlock more and more of them through the game. I have unlocked some more, and combat became instantly more engaging, having more hotkeys. So I can only imagine when I get even more. So far enjoying it. I've only done the 2 icon fights so far. I need time to play more. So
Same. Because I only have like 5 hours into it, but yeah, from those 5 hours, game's gorgeous, the graphics are good, the visual style's awesome, cinematics are really good, the story's interesting so far. I like that it spans multiple different timelines. That's not a spoiler, that's showed off in the trailers, and yeah, the characters are interesting. This game just feels right out of the gate. I'm like a much more confident. We know what we're doing with this game than like 15. And I know I shouldn't be comparing directly to 15, but it was like the last mainline Final Fantasy.
Forever, so
it's been a while, and that game had a weird development cycle because it originally wasn't supposed to be 15. So I do view it in a more balanced way than going like, wow, they didn't do it correct in certain ways. Look, no, it was. They kind of just fitted that into 15 once they're like, what are we going to do for the next Final Fantasy? Well, we've been working on Versus forever. And so anyway, that game came out, had some issues, but ended up being really great, I think. But this game just like straight up, everything's just very confident in the way it's done. And it really is kind of just showing off the talent behind it. Like I said, great looking, story's interesting, characters are cool, voice acting is fantastic, music's really good. I really like the combat, which is really important because I would play it anyway for the story and all the things. I've played JRPGs in the past that the combat systems weren't that amazing, but they're passable, and I still played it for like the experience. This doesn't really have that. I enjoy the combat, and I'm also happy to say over on my TikTok, I made a video about 16, and I have people in the comments who are saying this is their first Final Fantasy, and they're really liking it. I don't think this is indicative of past Final Fantasies in terms of gameplay, but it is indicative of Final Fantasies in terms of being these AAA big story experiences, and it's just cool to see that this game seems to be working for traditional Final Fantasy fans and new Final. Well, of course, there's going to be people who aren't into it, but I even saw somebody else talking about how they would argue this isn't even a JRPG; it's an action game. I would call it an action RPG, but they're still saying it was fun. So, so there's somebody who wasn't too happy about how it's not traditional anymore, but still saw qualities out of it. So, because I think it's kind of hard to deny. But yeah, if you're like 100% against the idea of a more actiony Final Fantasy, you're years late, and I don't think it's invalid to, hope it would go back to that. But we're multiple generations of Final Fantasy into.
The last one was 10.
Yeah, we're multiple generations into a world of Final Fantasy that's hasn't been traditional for a long time. Yeah. So that conversation is welcome if you're just talking about it in terms of what you'd like to see with the series, but in terms of it being criticism of the game, it's a little late to make those arguments.
I would also suggest, if that's the playstyle you're looking for, Bravely Default. Oh God, what was that old school one that they made? Octopath Traveler or Dragon Quest are all very traditional. There's a new Dragon Quest around the corner.
The last Dragon Quest is really good. It was traditional.
The last two I think that we got were really good. I didn't get a chance to beat 10, or 10, 9, 8. No, it was 8 was the last one I played, and then 11. So 8 and 11. Really good games. And 11 I beat. So it was fun. So
yeah, I really liked it.
Yeah.
The story wasn't like amazing, but just the experience was great.
It is 100%. Like if you're like an RPG fan, you're gonna absolutely enjoy it, and it's like you can easily sink like 100 hours into it if you wanted to. So
yeah, I put 120 something into it.
Yeah.
So
big game,
which is not typical of me with RPGs. True. So I normally just beat them and bail, but I was like, I don't want this to end. But yeah, Final Fantasy 16 is great. I need to play it more. Apparently, it's like a 50-hour game, so I have like 45 more hours to go if I want to just beeline through it. But I haven't been doing that, honestly. Like, this situation happened in the beginning hub area where there was a mission to continue forward the main storyline, and my game wasn't fully downloaded yet. And every time I went to do it, it's like, your game's not fully downloaded yet. So I like went around and explored every inch of the hub and talked to every single person I could talk to, and did a couple little side quests in there. And even after that, now that I'm continuing through the game, I'm like checking. I think I'm over checking every nook, because this game is pretty obvious about where items are, because they're pretty blatant. But
at least in the early zones,
my brain is just like, check every corner, because that's every game ever for me. So unless I don't care enough about like the loot and stuff like that, but yeah, really really good game. Really enjoying it. Want to play it more. I just need the time. Hopefully that happens soon.
Yeah, that's what I've been playing though. I haven't had as well a lot of time, but I have been attempting to make time to put in like an hour or two here and there to Final Fantasy, because I can't wait forever, because I have other games coming out very soon, like Remnant 2, and as much as I didn't think I was going to play it, Starfield probably. So
yeah, it's a big year for games. We're not even, we're halfway through the year, but I don't even feel like we're halfway through the games that are coming out this year. So
no, we're about to get slapped in the face.
Yeah. Although Final Fantasy 16 feels like the first of the big games to release. We've had great games already this year, but this is like one of the first like big hype games that have released finally. So
before they get upset about it, yes, Zelda was also one of those games.
I haven't played it.
Yeah, I've seen a couple of people when they talk about Final Fantasy, all of a sudden people are like, well, Zelda came out. Like, yes, it did, and it's a big game. You're not being ignored.
Yeah, and it'll probably win Game of the Year. somewhere. So
I mean,
it's Zelda, so it's just gonna win. But yeah, well, From Software's game is coming out too, but that's
Ann Arbor Core this year.
Yeah. And I would doubt it could get Game of the Year, but From Software's won Game of the Year twice now, so they can do it.
We'll see.
Yeah. Anything else?
No.
All right, let us know in the comments what games have you guys been playing lately? What games are you wanting to play soon? What games would you recommend us check out? And have you played Street Fighter 6 or Final Fantasy 16? What do you think about those games without spoilers? Please. Not Final Fantasy. Street Fighter 6, I don't think there's much to spoil there, but be responsible with that. But yeah, when it comes to 16, the game's still pretty fresh. Don't spoil it for anybody. Don't be that guy. But you can tell us if you're liking it or if you're not liking it. If you're not liking it, maybe you can just be like, oh, the story's not as good as I wanted, or the combat's not exactly what I wanted. All valid things. Let us know everything you think about in the comments below when it comes to video games. Okay, so we got a Nintendo Direct to watch. That Nintendo Direct happened 4 days ago. It was on the 21st, and it was a sneaky one. But I think probably the main title they showed off here, I think I know about. But other than that, I have no idea what they showed off here. So I can't really get too specific about what I'm hoping for from this, because I really do believe, and I've been saying this for a while now, that the Switch, as we know it now, is probably in the end of its life cycle, and they will likely be announcing a new console within the next year or two. I think that's going to happen, and so I think we are winding down all the big titles to expect for the Switch. I could be wrong. I don't think I'm really going to be wrong here. But, so I don't really know what to expect here. I know Pikmin is a thing, but I'm not a Pikmin guy. And yeah, I just hope for some surprises that will make me go, oh shit, they're really prolonging the Switch. And Switch still viable, of course, and it's a great console. But don't really have a whole lot of anticipation for games for it, because I feel like they're going to get ready to launch a new console. So what are you hoping to see?
I don't think I have anything on my wish list, to be honest.
Yeah. All right, well, let's just watch this, and we can hopefully find something that's pretty cool. It seems like there's a lot of games on here. I don't want to highlight them. This is Nintendo Direct 6/21/23, and 3, 2, 1, and go. I hate that.
The motorcycle?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not a big fan either. I didn't even pick this Pokemon up.
I forgot this even existed.
When it came out, it was like a buggy mess. And I was already kind of like on the fence picking it up anyways. I was like, well.
Heard it had frame rate issues.
Yeah. But, I heard it was fun, but yeah, it's got some stuff about it I don't know if I'm like super into.
Did you see, this is way off topic, did you see that Vampire Survivors getting co-op? Yeah, in August.
Interesting.
I saw Grassy Fields and it reminded me of Vampire Survivors for some reason. That hair. Jesus. By the way, by the end of the week, you got to think of Game of the Month for next month.
Yep. This was like a DLC or is it an expansion?
It's hard for me to know, but just because I didn't know what the originals were like. Kind of looks like they're advertising an expansion.
Well, I say they said this is part 1, so I almost wonder if it's just gonna be a series of DLCs, but.
Is it just like gyms that are going to be content drops?
Well, the first one had a little like story going on with it. This will probably be for hunting specific types. It's kind of tricky because I didn't play this one. I played the two before it, and I enjoyed them. The one was just a remake of an older game, but I can't remember. Something came out about the time this did, and I prioritized it over this. So.
Hello everyone, I'm Shinya Takahashi, and I'll be one of your guides for today's Nintendo Direct.
I'm Yoshiaki Koizumi, and I'll also be joining today.
That was the latest trailer for the Hidden Treasure of Area Zero, the paid DLC for the Pokemon Scarlet and Pokemon Violet games. The first half of the trailer took place at a festival in the countryside.
While the second half seemed to be in a completely different location, a futuristic academy in the middle of the ocean. More details on this DLC will be available in the future.
And after today's Nintendo Direct, a special event will be held in Pokemon Scarlet and Pokemon Violet. We hope you'll participate in it. Okay, let's see our first batch of headlines.
It's a supersonic squad of
Saw this
superstars.
already, right?
I think so.
Sonic and friends are spin dashing into a brand new 2D side-scrolling game, Sonic Superstars. 12 brand new zones await.
Which looks safe, but it's probably going to be fun enough.
Worlds as Sonic.
I think they do their best when they
Take to
just
the
go back to
skies
traditional.
as Tails. Scale walls and glide as Knuckles. Or swing a powerful hammer as Amy Rose.
Damn.
By harnessing the incredible power
Just
of
that
the
blank
Chaos
stare while
Emeralds,
swinging
you
a
can
hammer
summon
while
storm
running.
of clones. Uncover
Jesus.
hidden secrets. And so much more. And for the first time in the series, local co-op is available for up to 4
What
players.
the fuck are you going to do with 4 people?
Chaos. It was like that Mario that was 4-player co-op, but you could interfere with each
Combine
other
your
and
powers
bounce off each
and
other's heads
take
and
on
stuff.
the evil Dr. Eggman when Sonic Superstars launches on the Nintendo Switch system this fall.
Kind of interesting.
A cozy life is just around the corner.
Uh-oh.
Welcome to Palia. In this free-to-play adventure sim, create the idyllic life of your dreams alongside in-game characters and
know.
players
Looks
from
generic.
all over the world.
It's free to play too, which is
Build
interesting.
houses, decorate your home plot,
I'll say, I'm
grow
pretty sure
crops
this is
in
that
your garden,
multiplayer one.
and more. Play with other residents in online co-op or carve out your blissful life solo. And if you're eager to explore, there's plenty of life beyond the village. Set off on a vast journey to uncover Palia's many mysteries. Or just
feel
kick
like
back and
we've seen a trailer
relax
for
at
this.
home.
Oh, it's been a
How
while
you
ago now,
live
but
is entirely up to you. What kind of coziness will you choose? Palia is free to play and launches on Nintendo Switch this holiday.
interesting.
Is it only on Switch?
Ignite your heart.
We've seen this.
The Phantom Thieves return in this tactical spin-off of Persona 5.
I'm sure it'll be fun.
It looks like it's going to be fun. I'm just kind of, like you said last time, kind of burnt out on Persona
With
5.
a revolutionary named Arena to combat the armies that have taken control. During battle, assess the situation and determine whether to unleash an attack up close, from afar, or using a persona. Knock enemies down to perform another action called One More. Then surround your foes and take them out with dramatic flair using the new all-out attack, Triple Threat. The fusion ability from the Persona series returns, allowing you to combine personas to form other ones. What is Arena's true objective? And what truths lie hidden in this strange world? A revolutionary tale will ignite when Persona 5 Tactica launches on Nintendo Switch November 17th. Pre-orders for the physical version of the game begin today. Please check your local retailers. Step into a Saturday morning cartoon. Calling all heroes for the first-person roguelike adventure, Myth Force. Enter a high fantasy world inspired by Saturday morning cartoons of the past.
It looks like an
It's up
80s
to you
cartoon,
to
though, which is
stop
kind of
the evil
interesting.
Daedalus from taking over, but it won't be easy. Treacherous tombs and cryptic castles threaten your survival. Wield medieval
Actually kind of
weapons
impressed
and
with the
legendary
visuals.
magic to smite hordes of monsters. During each run,
Yeah, kinda
you
gives me
can
like,
find treasure to help boost your character's abilities,
kind of Dragon Slayer
weapons,
vibes.
and
Visually.
more. Plus, up to 4 brave heroes can share the adventure in online co-op. Drop in and out at any time as you face the many perils ahead. By
Sounds
the
kinda
power
cool.
of teamwork. Myth Force launches on the Nintendo Switch system this year. This Splatfest is going to be pretty sweet. The next Splatfest
like
for the
how he's
Splatoon
in
3
Big
game
Man.
has been confirmed.
That guy?
Manta Ray or
Okay,
whatever it
Squid,
is.
here's the
Damn.
theme. Which flavor of ice cream is best? Vanilla, strawberry, or mint chip?
Man.
This Splatfest will be held during the dates
Mint
shown
or
on
vanilla?
screen. These choices are delicious. Guide your favorite flavor to victory. Plus, get splatting in themed battles with challenges. More Splat-tastic events are on the way. Be on the lookout for more info in the future.
Another Pokemon?
To promote an even stronger bond between the people and Pokemon of Rhyme City, I hereby proclaim this day the start of Pokemon Friendship Week.
Tim Goodman. Pikachu.
Oh, is this Detective
You two
Pikachu?
are the ideal detective duo.
Disguises are a key part of detective work.
Quit goofing off
Dang.
and investigate.
That's a crazy voice.
So much for my coffee.
Something tells me this is just the beginning.
Jesus.
A light roast today, huh?
Pikachu with that voice should be illegal.
There is something the two of you must know.
You too. Based on our deductions, the culprit is clear, isn't it? A bolt of brilliance. The name's Pikachu. And I'm what
Man,
you
I'm
might
kind of a
call
lost words right now.
great
Yeah,
detective.
dude, my fucking brain just melted.
I sure wish somebody would bring me some coffee.
What's even the gameplay like?
That was Detective
Just walk around
Pikachu
and fucking
Returns.
talk to people?
Looks like he still loves coffee.
What cases will
Same.
Tim and this tough-talking
Fix the
Pikachu
people.
solve together?
Kind of weird.
More
for
info
Pokemon.
will be revealed in the future.
Everything else looks fine, but yeah, that character
Next,
model was kind of
please take a look at this.
Pixar-y, but not good looking.
This is the one I saw.
She doesn't have a neck.
There it is.
There it is. Yes, I got a glimpse. Jesus.
Oh, dude. I love this game.
Is it the original?
It's a remake, yeah.
Oh, okay, interesting.
It's kind of weird though, because Square Enix made the first one.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a remake. I guess they just have to have the rights.
Doesn't matter, yeah. I mean, it'd probably be better if Square Enix made it again, but at least everything's been built, so just have to try and replicate it.
It's probably one of the most like fun, especially for its time, like turn-based combat systems. Oh my god! Yeah, they did a good job. This looks great. Yeah, I'll have to do this. This is such a like, I'm happy about it, but it's such a surprising choice. It's been so long.
Yeah. It looks cool. It looks just like the original, except for
Originally released
modern
on Super
Mario
NES,
looking.
3D
Super
graphics.
Mario
Yeah.
RPG returns with brand new graphics.
Whether you played the original game or not, why not take the opportunity to jump into the very
Why not?
first RPG in the Mario series?
Mr. Koizumi, that last trailer featured Mario, but he's not the only one getting a game.
Huh? What do you mean?
Let's take a peek.
Just a peek. Oh, it's been a while for a Peach game too. Interesting.
That's right. Princess Peach will star as the main character in a brand new game. When she steps on this particular spot on stage,
Huh? Whoa. What on earth is happening?
that's all we'll show for now.
Apparently she's a magic
We'll
girl.
share more details at a later date. Mr. Koizumi, there's actually something else.
What?
A visually enhanced version of Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon, originally released on Nintendo 3DS, is in development.
We hope you look
Interesting.
forward to
I've
seeing
never
more
played
of
any of those.
Luigi's
People love 'em,
ghostly
but-
antics.
Just never really
Both
lined up.
games will launch next year.
Mario, Princess Peach, and Luigi. Looks like Mario fans have a lot of games to look forward to.
No
More
shit.
details will be shared in the future. All right, let's see some more headlines.
Become Gotham City's ultimate protector.
Sounds like a lot of work.
True.
Wake up, Mr. Wayne.
Is this the original ones?
We have much to discuss.
Probably.
I want you to know the fear that is coming. This is the beginning of the end for you, Dark Knight. You're all going down.
You still know how to make an entrance.
Welcome to the madhouse, Batman!
Today is the Joker's big homecoming, and you're the guest of honor.
Soon I will command forces beyond your
I
comprehension.
played the first two. I liked them a lot. I did not play that one.
Batman dies tonight.
This place is dangerous.
Which one was that?
Arkham Knight?
Is that the third one?
Yeah.
Yeah, that one I tried to play, but
Gotham would
there's so
be
much vehicle
ours.
stuff I didn't like.
Over my dead body.
I believe that was the idea.
Don't be a stranger. You're always welcome here.
Gotham City needs saving.
Arkham
That's
Trilogy
literally an
launches on
everyday
Nintendo
problem.
Switch this
True.
fall.
That's cool. I mean, they're older games at this point, but
Play
they're
your
good.
cards right.
And, having those on a portable console is pretty cool.
Lead your mercenaries through cursed dungeons in the lands of Gloomhaven.
I own this, and I've never played it.
Your prowess is all that stands between riches and certain death. This adaptation of the hit board game features turn-based card battles with RPG elements. Unleash deadly combos.
It's based off of a board game that existed before the game that I've almost bought a couple times. Because it's supposed to give you kind of like a dungeon crawling, finding loot experience in a board game.
And master over 1,000 abilities. Hone your deck, set up synergies, and gain every advantage to survive. Grit your teeth and earn your
keep. It's
multiplayer.
I have it. Just on the Nintendo Switch never touched it.
September 18th.
It's supposed to follow the same rules as the board game.
And gold editions begin today on Nintendo eShop. Keep the dance party going.
Oh, there. It wasn't at the showcases here.
Yeah, that's weird. Maybe the demographic that plays this the most is.
Worry about the volume here.
Yeah, we can do that. If there's a place where I'm gonna get dinged, it'll be here.
Yeah.
I'll have to cut out yet another chunk of my video before it gets blocked worldwide.
Hopefully that was it. Oh, nope, it's still going.
It's gonna play 40 new tracks right now. Yep.
Yeah.
That would get me dinged. That would get me dinged. That would as well.
Yeah.
I don't know what that is.
That's K-pop.
That would.
I don't know that one.
I don't know that one either. All songs I don't care to hear anyway. So
same. It's like I almost bought I know you were wanting me to buy it, but Beat Saber on PlayStation, but all the songs are like dumb.
Oh, I think the music in that game is actually interesting because it's not just pop music.
Warriors will rise. In this action RPG, these heroes bound by fate must work together to explore the abyss and find the secluded king. However, with its ever-changing dungeons and powerful foes, conquering the abyss
like a
will
mana
be no
game,
easy
like
feat.
Secret Mana style.
Wield weapons like swords, bows, magic, and more to survive this deadly chasm. After you return to base, materials you've collected will help you cultivate resources and forge new items. Repeated forays into the abyss will enable you to grow stronger and dive deeper.
Probably.
Can you hear me?
Your guide on this journey is the kingdom's sorrowful princess, encased in a crystal of her own
Sounds cool though.
tears.
I'd probably play that.
And through a mysterious power, her
Yeah, systems wise it does. I don't know about the
silent
combat.
warriors.
I'm not like super.
Why did the king steal the world's words? And what awaits the warriors in the depths of the abyss?
Without playing it.
Silent Hope dives onto Nintendo Switch October 3rd.
A lot of stuff for Nintendo's coming out at the end of the year.
Sparks will fly in these Nintendo Switch games. Cast spells and cultivate your best life in Fae Farm. Make use of magic to complete tasks and fend off mischievous foes.
Yeah, there's a shitload, and there's a shitload on Switch.
Decorate your space to improve your stats for the day ahead. And enchant your friends locally or online in 4-player co-op. Fae Farm launches as a console exclusive.
Thematically, it
on
does
Nintendo
nothing for
Switch
me, so I'd probably pass on this one.
The premise sounds cool to me, but visually, yeah, I don't like everyone just running around with wings and.
Zoom into wild racing action with Hot Wheels Unleashed 2 Turbocharged.
Oh shit.
Choose from
First
over
one was actually pretty
130
decent.
vehicles and pull off
So when we
outrageous
got
stunts to
make the
avoid
track in your
obstacles,
room or whatever,
find
right?
shortcuts, and knock
Yeah, it
your
was a
rivals
surprise
out
for
of the
me.
way. Unleash your
It was a
creativity
pretty decent
by
arcade racer.
modifying your vehicles and building your own tracks. Race locally with friends in split-screen co-op. Plus, up to 12 players can hit the track online. Grab the wheel when this game speeds onto the Nintendo Switch system October 19th. Get your chassis looking classy in Manic Mechanics.
This
It's
gaming
the cooking
anxiety.
game.
Yeah, fuck this, dude.
Mix it up and toss it over.
It is that game.
It is that
To earn
game,
points in solo play or 4-player co-op.
Plus, there was just a frame
Watch
drop.
out for treacherous pits,
Jesus.
pesky UFOs, and other workplace hazards.
Yeah, we're about
Manic
fucking
Mechanics
UFOs.
launches first for consoles on Nintendo Switch July 13th. Pre-orders begin today on Nintendo eShop. Introducing the second paid DLC for Mario plus Rabbids Sparks of Hope. Mario and friends journey to a musical planet filled with new areas to explore and new enemies to
They're looking
battle.
for Horai for fucking the elixir
What
of
else
life.
will they find in this world of melodies?
Well,
This
that
new
game's about to get
DLC,
much
The
darker.
Last Spark Hunter, launches.
Yeah, who's
later
gonna
today.
survive out of that group? That's what I want to know.
A demo of the main game is available now on
Not the
Nintendo
rabbits.
eShop.
They're
Cannon fodder, yeah.
You really think you stand a chance against us?
Those guys are up to some bullshit. Just looking at them, I'd fucking
I
take
saw
them out.
slime.
You intend to take arms against me?
I don't know. Almost looks like
You
a
are
remake
now
or
cursed,
something.
unable to harm monsters. What? What the?
You're going to have to become a monster wrangler.
Is it their version of like a Pokemon style game?
That'd be cool.
One of us.
It
Monster
is.
Scouted.
Let's go!
Yeah, it's Pokemon.
Oh my god.
It's pretty cool. I would play that.
Okay, I'm intrigued.
The so-called hero is here.
Bro, stop it in the air. Please.
That was Dragon Quest Monsters.
They're getting out of the way of all the
Prince
big titles that are
Square
come out around August and September.
What kind of journey
Yeah, but still
will
being
you
available
take
for
to become
holiday.
the Master of monster kind. Please be on the lookout for more info in the future.
Yeah, that
Next,
looks fun.
we have more news on a certain game with plant-like creatures.
Fuck's that mean? Oh, Pikmin.
Oh, yeah.
That would make sense.
I was like, John, who's playing, goes, what do you mean
Welcome
playing?
to the Rescue Corps. As its newest recruit, you'll venture to a mysterious planet with all sorts of life forms. There, you'll meet plant-like creatures called Pikmin. And the adorable rescue pup, Ochi. Good boy. Your mission, should you choose to accept it, repair the damaged Rescue Corps spaceship and save any castaways you find. All right, let's explore.
Ochi's
bigger than
fucking
they are.
huge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Once plucked, Pikmin are ready for action. Blow your whistle to gather them and have them follow you. Throw your little buds at things, and they'll start working for you. Ochi will also prove to be a great canine companion. He can carry items with Pikmin,
Dang.
or smash obstacles in your way.
Get him.
And if you need a flotation device, well, there you go. Ochi can even stand
game is
up
fucking
to the
out of
wildest
control.
creatures. Collect lots of treasures scattered around the planet to fix the spaceship's
Shameless.
radar and open up new areas to explore. Exploration isn't limited to the surface, though. Why not take the plunge
I can't believe there's
underground?
4 of these games.
Here, a
I only played
completely
the first
different
one.
environment
Same.
awaits.
And barely.
Yeah.
Unusual contraptions,
I think I played like a demo for it a long time ago.
native creatures, and even more treasures are around every corner.
Dang.
You might unexpectedly find some castaways, too.
Why you gotta chuck him?
Hey, wait a minute.
Gotta get him over there.
This leafy individual just nabbed the castaway. You've got to stop him. It's
Jesus.
time for a
Also has their own
Dandori
dog.
battle.
Yeah.
Embrace the art of Dandori by strategically issuing commands to your
this
Pikmin
a
and
versus
Ochi.
mode?
Collect
Looks like
more
it.
objects than your opponent within the time limit to win, and save the castaway. By rescuing castaways, you'll be able to do more activities back at base camp, which is right next to your spaceship. Train Ochi and teach him new skills. Or build new equipment and items to help make
And the
exploration
visual
more
style and
manageable.
UI of this game is so
For the first time in the Pikmin series,
older looking.
you can eventually set out for night expeditions. But there's a catch. Nightfall sends creatures into a frenzy, so stay alert.
yeah, dude, that guy's
Thankfully,
going crazy.
You'll come across the new glow Pikmin, which only appear at night. Find
It's an alien.
luminals that produce valuable glow sap.
They all look like
These
aliens.
mounds
Yeah,
also
that's true.
attract various wildlife, so use glow Pikmin to drive them away and protect the luminals. Many more surprises await on this uncharted planet. But with the Pikmin and Ochi by your side, no challenge is too big or too small. Pikmin 4.
That's pretty soon.
Well, these games coming out this year, man.
You had to
We're
return
getting
to
an
your
announcement within the
spaceship
next 2
before
years.
sundown. However, in this latest entry, you can now venture out at night. We hope you can lead the Pikmin on your expedition.
Yeah, I don't
We
know
have
about that.
even more Pikmin news to share.
I don't know if I want to be chucking plants at people.
Yeah, I appreciate Pikmin, but it's just not
HD
really
versions
my
of the first two Pikmin games, originally released
speed.
on Nintendo GameCube, will launch on Nintendo eShop
Oh.
later today.
It's cool for people who want the whole collection.
That's cool.
Plus, ahead of the game's release, a demo of Pikmin 4 will be available on Nintendo eShop on June 28th. The demo
Soon.
can be enjoyed even if you've never played a game in the Pikmin series before, so we hope you'll try it out when it releases. Okay, let's see a few more headlines.
The renowned series of stealth action games is infiltrating Nintendo Switch as Metal Gear Solid Master Collection Volume 1. This compilation includes Metal Gear Solid, infiltrate and regain control of Shadow Moses Island. Metal
Probably
Gear
his fucking
Solid 2, Sons of Liberty.
game plan is just going to be
Locate
keep
and
reselling the old
retrieve a
games.
deadly amphibious weapon. Metal Gear Solid 3, Snake Eater. Survive the jungle and confront your former mentor. You can also enjoy the games that started the series, Metal Gear and Metal
It's a
Gear
decent
2,
collection.
Solid
Yeah.
Snake, as well as the NES versions of both Metal Gear and Snake's Revenge.
They're giving you everything.
This compilation
Except for
also
4.
contains the first Metal Gear Solid digital graphic novel
Ah.
and its sequel.
Can't have 4, dude.
Yeah, it drives me fucking
Additional
nuts.
content includes screenplay books and master books with story and character info.
It's pretty
strategy
cool.
guides for each game, and a digital soundtrack. Metal Gear Solid Master Collection
It's gonna be in Volume
1
2.
launches on Nintendo Switch October
Acid.
24th.
Acid,
Pre-orders begin today
Peace
on
Walker,
Nintendo
Zombie
eShop.
game.
The first
That would
3
be an
Metal Gear
insult.
Solid games will also be available separately on Nintendo eShop.
5, but no 4.
It's time to survive.
Yeah.
Steal
look.
Thyself. Vampire
Hey, maybe they'll announce it here.
Survivors is coming to Nintendo Switch. Do you have what it takes to survive a 30-minute onslaught of monsters? Stay on the move to avoid enemies. And
All you
attack
have to do is move.
automatically with your weapons.
That's
Seems
kinda
easy
true.
at first, right? But swarms of increasingly stronger monsters will appear the longer you survive. By getting treasure chests from defeated enemies,
Oh, yeah.
or by leveling up, you'll acquire weapons and upgrades for your character, so shape them as you see fit. Plus, up to 4 players can now play together in couch co-op.
Damn.
It seems like it's
What
going to
other
go way
horrors lie
easier.
in store?
We'll
Find
see.
out when Vampire Survivors launches on the Nintendo Switch system, August 17th.
I'll be really curious to see how they
Music
handle
and
co-op.
pigeons? Sounds pretty.
Man, that guy has done a lot with like the cheapest game ever
You're a
made.
pigeon.
Yeah.
Yeah, you heard that right.
Yeah.
Join this rhythm battle royale and aim to be the last bird standing. Up to 30 players can ruffle each other's feathers in musical mini-games. Copy the leader's actions perfectly in Yes, Commander. Fire a slingshot to play music in First Piano Shooter. Race and fly to the rhythm in To the Sky, and more. With over 20 mini-games, you're in for an impeccably good time. Get ready to shake those pigeon tails when Headbangers Rhythm Royale bops its way onto Nintendo Switch
That's
October
interesting.
31st.
Hopefully that's on more than just Switch, and hopefully that's crossplay, because a game like that's not going to last very long.
Yo!
Otherwise.
Penny is on the run, entangled in a chaotic audition that veered way off script. She's managed to make some powerful enemies and a newly animated friend. In this 3D platforming adventure from the team behind Sonic Mania, you'll explore the bright and colorful world of Macaroon and help Penny and Yo-Yo
Sonic Mania
escape
was
the
good.
clutches of
Yeah,
the
that was
grouchy
that
Emperor
team
Eddie.
they
Perform stylish
make a Sonic
acrobatic
game.
tricks
Mhm.
to avoid Eddie's massive horde of pushy penguins. And power up Yo-Yo to protect Penny from foul play. You can also put your speedrunning skills to the test in time attack mode to unlock special items, complete secret stages, and more. This is your big break, after all. Take the stage when Penny's Big Breakaway launches on Nintendo Switch early
I don't
next
like
year.
platformers.
Yeah. Look cool, though.
Yeah, it did.
For a platform.
Rev up for
Especially like an
Wave
original
5.
idea.
A brand new course is racing into Wave 5 of the Mario Kart 8 Deluxe Booster Course Pass DLC. Introducing Squeaky Clean
That game
Sprint.
Is like
More characters
one
are
of the most
also
supported
being
games I've
added.
ever seen. It's crazy.
From Mario Kart
Yeah,
Double
it's pretty
Dash,
insane.
PD Piranha.
Especially because the game came out on
Mario
a
Kart
prior
7,
fucking console, and they just pretend like, nah, it came out on this. We're supporting it on this.
And from Mario Kart Tour, Kamek. Wave 5 of the Mario Kart 8 Deluxe Booster Course Pass DLC for the Mario
Yeah,
Kart 8
at least you're getting a lot of
Deluxe
content for that game.
Zooms onto Nintendo Switch this summer. Active Nintendo Switch Online Plus expansion pack members can enjoy this DLC at no additional cost. The DLC can also be purchased on its own. Two worlds, one fateful encounter. A remake of the second Star Ocean game, complete with new graphics,
That's like
that
the
fuse 2D
Star
and
Ocean
3D, is on the way. After a mission goes wrong, Federation Officer Claude is stranded on an undeveloped planet.
This is a PS1
There, he meets
Yeah.
Reyna, who possesses mystical powers. Was it fate or mere coincidence? Soon after, the two
Wish
get
Star Ocean looked like
entangled
that
in a
still.
sinister plot within the galaxy. In this
Yeah, this
science
is great.
fantasy RPG, select either Claude or Reyna as your hero. and
Not a
play
Kenny.
through the story from their perspective. You'll also meet over a dozen potential allies from all walks of life. During your adventure, the hero
This
you
game still have 40
chose
endings?
and the decisions you make will have an impact on who can be recruited to your cause.
Or was that Sukkot?
Battles take
might have
place in
Sukkot.
real time. And
The original
skills can be
Star Ocean had a
performed
shitload
with
of
single
endings.
button. New combat features in this remake include stunning enemies with chain attacks. And having allies not in your current party unleash follow-up attacks, letting you map out strategic battles in your
Weird.
favor.
I didn't realize they were gonna change the combat.
As you search for
That's
a way
interesting.
home, an ancient prophecy will unfold, and your destiny
I
will
love
be
the little
awakened.
live 2D
Save
figures
the
they got.
planet
Yeah.
in Star
so
Ocean,
good.
the second story arc,
That's
launching
cool.
on Nintendo Switch November 2nd.
Yeah, I want that.
It's time to move it.
Yeah,
Wario style.
Jesus.
Get ready for more micro game mayhem in the latest WarioWare game.
I haven't played one of those in a while.
Hold two Joy-Con controllers, then action.
I hate that.
Move your body to take on a flurry of lightning-fast micro games. What you do and how you move depends on the microgame. React quickly with the right movement, and you'll be on the road to victory.
Excellent!
If you've got 2 pairs of controllers, play with a friend in local co-op. Sync up your actions to beat each microgame. Plus, up to 4 players can live it up across various mini-games in party mode. For example,
this game's fucking
dicey
unhinged.
board game is going to keep you on your toes. Get your body moving in over 200 lightning-fast microgames.
Yeah, that's a lot.
In WarioWare, Move It. Launching
cool.
on the Nintendo Switch system November 3rd. Pre-orders begin today on Nintendo eShop.
Just the end of the year, they're just dumping all their games. Here you go.
Nintendo. They're just like,
sift through them.
Look, I found this box.
He was so into it, I didn't want to interrupt. Anyway, this is the latest WarioWare game. You'll use your entire body to strike different poses and complete microgames. We have a few more things to share.
It's pretty packed.
Yeah, there's a lot of shit for 44
Families
minutes.
can join the fun at Nintendo Live 2023.
What's that?
Play games, enjoy live performances, take photos with some of your favorite characters, and more. Plus, cheer
Seattle,
on your
dude, it's
favorite
dangerous
players
up there.
in 2 championships. Eligible attendees
That
can
feels
also
Redmond,
compete
isn't
in
it?
on-site
It's not that
tournaments
far
and
from
it being in
participate
Seattle.
in a
Sure, I'm
last
just saying it's
chance
not that far.
qualifier.
Yeah.
This
I'm just worried about
all-ages
Mario getting
celebration
stabbed.
is free and will take place
Why, he'll just
September
jump on their
1st
head.
through 4th in Seattle, Washington. Registration for Nintendo Live 2023 ends June 22nd. Head over to the official website and enter the random drawing for a chance to receive tickets. PAX West badge holders interested in attending can visit the official
Gotcha.
PAX West website for more details.
What is
Those
PAX?
not selected will have another
Same
chance
time.
to attend with the 3 Challenge Cups this summer. The top 10 players from each will get tickets. Please visit the official website for more details. See you there.
A vast number of players
I wonder how lack of
are
E3 is
enjoying
going to
their time
affect
in Hyrule
PAX.
in The Legend of Zelda. Tears
PAX
of the
always just had a
Kingdom,
bunch of stuff that
which
was at
released last month.
the E3 show floor before.
Yeah.
Thank you all very much. An amiibo figure of Link from the game was released to coincide with the game's launch. New amiibo of Zelda and Ganondorf are planned to be released this holiday. We hope you're looking
My
forward to
guy's thick.
it. Okay, this next segment will be our last announcement. Please
Okay.
take a look.
This is what got spoiled for me.
Uh-huh.
I haven't seen anything. That was scary looking. It's like 4 stages of his growth.
He's a grown boy.
It's interesting how it looks like a modern version of Super Mario World.
I mean, that's like that Sonic game.
Yeah. It just has that style from the Super Nintendo era.
Mario's a very expressive dude.
Yeah, he doesn't shut up.
Damn, he's doing acid. Yeah, I was joking, but I'm starting to believe it.
This is scary. There's so much going on. Found a Wonder Seed.
A lot of characters.
Who the hell said that?
Super Mario did.
Or is that his hat from that one Mario game? Damn.
Is it 4-player?
I think so.
They're all doing it.
Looks cool. I like that it reminds me of the Super Nintendo one. It's one of the best Marios ever.
Hey, look, this here again. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Don't eat that.
Oh my god.
That Goomba looks so. Well then.
He looks so satisfied with turning into an
That was
elephant.
the brand new 2D side-scrolling.
Why does Mario just eat stuff?
Super Mario Brothers Wonder. When you touch a Wonder Flower, expect the
Start tripping
unexpected.
out.
The ground could start moving, or you might turn into something different, for example.
You literally just made Mario on drugs.
Daisy is
And it was already a weird series.
and Mario became an elephant at the end. A lot of things
I
happened.
saw.
He
We'll share more
definitely
details in the future, so we hope
You're
you
not
look
wrong.
forward to it.
That's all for today's Nintendo Direct. Thank you for watching.
Yeah. Yeah. Thanks for throwing games at the end of the year.
All right. Well, that was the Nintendo Direct. They had a lot of games in that 44 minutes of video. Pretty surprising. We got some new content for Pokemon. We got Sonic game, that Palia game, Persona 5, Detective Pikachu, which I guess I haven't really followed what those games are like because hearing Pikachu talk like that was fucking wild. Super Mario RPG, which is cool to see. We also had a Star Ocean remake. Seems like a lot of remakes are coming out for the Switch. That one, God, what was it? Dragon Quest. Monsters game. And what was this? Silent Hope again? Oh, that was that like roguelite style game. Possibly, that's a guess. Pikmin 4 and a bunch of stuff. What stood out to you? And yeah.
I want Mario RPG and I want Star Ocean. Like, those are very nostalgic for me. So I am definitely the audience. WarioWare looks fun, though I always say that and I never pull the trigger on those games. Let's see. What else is in there?
Yo.
Definitely not the mechanics game. Oh, Dragon Quest Monsters looks cool
Yeah.
too. I'd probably play that. Palia looks cool. I wonder what the monetization is going to be
Yo.
since it's free to play, but a multiplayer farm sim / easy living game or whatever. I like those games. So and social stuff makes stuff a little more fun. So
Definitely.
all the new Mario games, just in general,
There's a shitload.
yeah, it's cool. I wish I was into platformers more. The quality is undeniable when Nintendo decides to make a Nintendo game, though. So
Yeah, they definitely respect their own reputation
Yeah.
in terms of their releases.
Vampire Survivors getting co-op is wild.
True.
I'm curious how that's even gonna work because
I wonder what happens if you die. Can you get like brought back or
yeah, I don't know. It's a game that definitely felt like a single player game. So like them
Yeah.
adding co-op it's like we're always talking specifically you're always like, I wish I had co-op, I wish I had co-op, I wish I had co-op, and how this game's like it has co-op and you're like, all right, well, that wasn't the one I thought.
Well, for me it was because
Yeah.
that was one of the first things I thought of when I first saw the game. I was like, that game needs co-op, but I say that with every game, so it's
Yeah.
not a surprise. But I am surprised to see they are bringing it to the game. So I'm curious on how they're gonna balance it in terms of having more people doing more things, and then also if people go down, how to get them back up. Hopefully, there's some gameplay mechanics, and not just
Also do share EXP or
sloppily. Yeah, I don't know. Because I feel like if everyone's leveling too quickly, or if one person's leveling faster than other people, it could be off balance. But the game's a great idea and plays really good already, so I'm sure they got it figured out.
yeah. I mean, those are the kind of ones that come to the top of my head right now. It was a very packed Nintendo Direct, which is welcome because I wasn't I was kind of wondering where Nintendo was at, and apparently they're doing just fine. So
it seems like they got a lot of smaller games that they're dumping into the very end of this year, but definitely plenty of stuff to be playing on Switch. But it does seem like they are getting everything out now. We didn't see any 2024 games, and so yeah, definitely seems like plenty of play, and it's all being dumped at the very end of the year, which is pretty crazy. This is interesting to see somebody making an original character. Like a 3D platformer like this. People don't really attempt that too much anymore.
No, the last one I can even remember is was called oh god, what was that? It's like the Fox guy on Xbox.
I know what you're talking about, but yeah, that's a good example of what I kind of mean about like people creating their things. Of course, people make platformers, but that like old school style 3D platformer, you don't see a whole lot of people, trying to make their own world and universe anymore. So it's cool to see. And also the people who made this
Sonic Mania
made Sonic Mania, which I thought was actually really good. So it was like the first good Sonic game in a long time for me. So I have faith in what they're doing. Oh, there's a 2024 right there. But it's not a mainline Nintendo game.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of stuff here for me personally. Sonic looks all right. Palia looks slightly interesting for play. Is definitely not something that's very interesting to me, though. This Myth Force game looks interesting. I don't know if I'd want to play on Switch, so hopefully it comes out something else. But if it's only on Switch, I would check it out. I'm not possibly too young to have any affinity for that 80s cartoon style, but I think it's really neat that they did it. So yeah, let's see. Detective Pikachu, I don't know if I'd play, but I was very intrigued watching that trailer. Super Mario RPG remake is looking really good. It's really cool to see them doing that. Hopefully they can do it justice. The other things they announced, the Peach game, they didn't really give us a whole lot of information, so I can't really have a judgment on that too much. Yeah, that Silent Hope game looked interesting gameplay wise, and if it's I don't know if it's multiplayer or not. It kind of looks like it's multiplayer, but it looks like a little like fun game that I could see myself playing for sure. Hot Wheels Unleashed 2. I don't know if necessarily this is like a Switch game to be excited for, but I'm actually kind of happy they're making a second one because I thought the first one was a lot better than it really deserved to be. When we played it for Plus Club, it was a big surprise for me as it was a pretty legit arcade racer. This Manic Mechanics game pisses me off. I'm sure it's great, and if you're into that cooking game, Overcooked,
yeah.
Good for you. You'll probably love this. That game makes me want to pull my hair out of my head. Dragon Quest Monsters looks very cool. I really like Dragon Quest in general. I like the charm of it, and typically when they release games, they're fun. And so this will likely be fun. And I like that they are dabbling in the Pokemon style type game because there's a lot of monsters in Dragon Quest, and a lot of them are iconic and known, and it'd be a lot of fun to utilize them in combat. Pikmin 4 does nothing for me. But for anyone who's a fan of Pikmin, I'm glad you're getting a fourth one that looks pretty legit. It's got a lot of cool features, a lot of new stuff going on. I like that your Ocho, or the hell it's called, dog has like abilities that you can level up and stuff like that. That's pretty cool. And it's got a multiplayer mode if you feel so inclined to want to face other people. That's pretty neat. It's just, not for me. What is for me though is Metal Gear Solid Master Collection Volume 1. I just want access to these games. And so that they're putting a collection together that has most of the games I want to be able to play on modern consoles. I wouldn't be buying on Switch. I know it's coming out for other things, but it seems like a pretty robust package, which I'm really surprised by for Konami. Hopefully, they don't fuck with the games at all. Just port them over, clean them up if you're gonna, but don't touch them. Don't fuck with them. Just let me play them. That's all I want. I will give you the money. Just don't fuck with them. But they're giving you a lot of options here, which I think is kind of cool. And I do think it's neat they're even adding the digital graphic novel, because there's a lot of older content from Metal Gear Solid that's hard to get your hands on nowadays. So, the more the better, and that's pretty cool. So, yeah, Vampire Survivors, I mean, I already have it, but co-op, I'm definitely interested in how that's going to be. This Headbangers game, It's kind of neat. Kind of reminds me of it's a rhythm game, but it kind of reminds me of Fall Guys a little bit. But also WarioWare, yeah, because it has the mini games. It definitely seems like a game I would play. I just hope it has enough content and longevity and enough to pull enough people to play
20 mini games though, which doesn't seem like a lot.
Exactly. That's why I'm like, I don't know if it's enough. Like, even if people do buy it and play it, is it going to be enough to keep people around? Will it stick around? So, I don't know, but it seems pretty cool. The Penny's Big Breakaway looks pretty interesting. Reminds me of like 64 era platformers, which is pretty cool because that was a golden age in platforming. Star Ocean looks great. It's also very interesting. They're even enhancing the game for better, for worse. We don't know yet, but it looks awesome. I love the old PlayStation style graphics cleaned up, and the pictures are really clean and clear looking. But that they're changing the combat could make it feel more modern and more fun to play, or maybe for purists it won't be a good thing. WarioWare makes me want to pick this up because I haven't played a WarioWare in a long time, and this one looks like a lot of fun. I am confused on why it's got a 2-player mode and then a 4-player mode. Is the 2-player mode to do the two-handed stuff, and maybe in the 4-player mode you just use individual Joy-Cons? I don't know. But definitely looks fun. And then I actually think this Mario Wonder game is a lot better looking than I thought it was going to be.
Mario discovers fentanyl.
It is just a 2D platformer, but who's better at making 2D platformers than Nintendo? There's plenty of people out there who make great ones, but this is going to be fun. I do like that it's 4-player co-op. And it's very trippy, so at least they're trying something out here. And I kind of love that it reminds me a lot of Super Mario World, which is one of my favorite Mario games. So it's pretty cool. Definitely a game that I would be curious about playing. All in all, though, I think there was a good variety of games here. No huge bangers for me, really, but a lot of just like solid, plenty of things to play on Switch titles that they showed off here. And overall, the presentation felt longer than 44 minutes to me for some reason. But there's plenty of stuff there, a lot of things I would play. And definitely shows there's just stuff to play for Switch still, which is great. Especially after, a big title like Zelda coming out. They still have more stuff right down the pipeline before I'm sure they will announce a new console within the next year or two. So, yeah, pretty good.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to say? What would you grade the presentation?
It's really hard for me not to be biased because there's like 2 games in there I love, but I'm gonna give it a very, very, very strong B+. It was packed full of stuff. A lot of it though is like remakes or like little indie projects though there are some main Nintendo properties in here as well, but Pikmin being like a big AAA game of theirs. But it did feel like even, and like I just said, there was some other stuff in there, but it did kind of just feel more like an indie showcase almost. I'm not complaining, but the outside of my surprise for Mario RPG and Star Ocean, there wasn't really like a big, like you were kind of saying, big like, holy shit, I have to get this brand new Mario or brand new Nintendo game, So
yeah, I was also going to give it a strong B+. I think it was a solid presentation. I think it was done well. Nintendo always is really good about being straight to the point. There's a certain Nintendo charm to their presentations that just feel fun. A lot of games showed off here that all, I think, add value to the console. And, like you said, it did feel more like an indie showcase and like a remaster showcase. But we did get some Nintendo mainline games made, by them that shows that, they're still making probably some smaller projects, but still, they're putting out games that are going to kind of, give us new Mario experiences, Pikmin experiences. Splatoon's getting more content. So, definitely more stuff coming out for Switch stuff, and that's cool to see. So, yeah, easy B+. It was good, but not amazing. So, but solid. Very solid. It was cool. So, Yeah. Anything else?
Nope.
All right. Well, let us know in the comments what do you guys think of the Nintendo Direct from a couple days ago. What were the games that stood out to you? What are you most excited for? What games are you not excited for? What games were you hoping for possibly? And what games are you enjoying on Nintendo right now? Anyway, what games are you playing on Switch? You've been playing the Zelda game, playing anything else? What games did you recommend? And yeah, let me know what you thought of this presentation in the comments below. All right, it's that time again where we read your comments and reply to them and reflect on past episodes. If you want your comment to be read for sure, type in hashtag AskTLG. Otherwise, I read it at random, although we have one video we are reading from because I'm not diving into the Starfield comments because they're very mixed. But yeah, we did a Tastecast 188 where we reacted to Armored Core 6 gameplay and Cyberpunk 2077 Phantom Liberty gameplay. We got 4 comments. I'm going to dive into the first one being from Tom B. 4250 saying, nice AC6 breakdown and thoughts. I never played AC, but this one I'm interested in. There are so many games this fall. This fall, it's crazy. Alan Wake 2 remains my number one. When I'm done with it, the backlog then sure keeps piling on. True. I can't keep up with the backlog. It just keeps growing. And I know you're with me when it comes to Alan Wake 2. I'm very excited for it. I know you've been very vocal about how excited you are as well. Number one for you. Definitely top 3 to 5 for me. I can't wait to play it. And it's interesting how many people are saying they're not super... they either have never played AC or they never really got into it, but this new one is interesting to them. So I'll be really curious to see its reception from AC purists, people who are into it, people who are fans of it like me, and people who are just kind of like, it looks pretty cool. I'm going to check it out. Yeah. So definitely interested in that. Also, thank you for saying nice breakdown and thoughts. We try. Anything to add?
Nope, thanks.
All right, thank you for the comment. Moving on, we got one from Ego Border saying, fun episode, guys. Do more videos when you're hungry. I want to hear more buffet references. I made a buffet reference.
Okay.
You remember that?
No.
I said that Atlas Fallen was like going to a buffet. You can get whatever you want. So I appreciate that you even remember that part of the video because I thought it was a good reference. And you did make a hungry reference at the beginning of this episode when you're talking about pizza and trying out pepperoni and stuff. So apparently there's a theme going on here. Hopefully that
it's easy to relate to food. So
true. I used to do this thing where I would relate music to types of food. Somebody like bring up a band or something. I'm like, yeah, that's like it's like macaroni and cheese. Like it's good, but it's not good for you. So yeah, it's really easy to use food as a vector for like comparison, I guess. Continuing, as an Armored Core veteran, I'm very hyped for AC6. I pre-ordered 2 weeks ago, and I feel FromSoft has more than earned my trust. I think that's very safe, in my opinion, to say as well, because From Software has just been just on an uphill. Their trajectory just keeps going up and up and up. They just can't miss at this point. So that said, I'm happy to see the game looking much more modern than anything in the series. I replayed AC1 and Verdict Day on my PS3 last month and found both games so unwelcoming to new players. I literally laughed out loud. Again, this is from a series veteran, so I hope players don't get frightened off AC6 after 10 minutes. I think they're doing a really good job at modernizing the game. It looks like it's going to be welcoming to new people, but it's also From Software, so it's also going to kick your ass. So you got to know what you're getting into. I do wonder about this as well, though. Also, as somebody who's been playing Armored Core since PlayStation, the original, and thinking back to those games, and if you're familiar with those games, you know how they're going to play, you know how the systems work. But I think going back to them now, if you never had any experience with them, would maybe be a little like, oh shit, okay, the aiming's kind of weird, and you got to make sure they're in the area to be able to shoot them, and yeah, we'll see how it affects new players. I've been wanting to go back and play some of the older Armored Cores as well. I need to find the means to do that. I'll put it that way. But yeah, in preparation for AC6, I've been thinking about that a lot. So Yeah. Nothing?
No.
All right. Thank you for the comment, Ego Border, and I'm glad you enjoyed the episode. Next comment we got is a big one. Okay, so this is from Flapjack Daddy. You shortened it?
Well, if you notice, they all have the ats now.
Yeah, I'm seeing that.
Yeah,
yeah. I was confused.
Fully implemented it.
Okay. Well, that makes it easier for me. I don't gotta say the whole name. Flapjack Daddy says, I think I'm about 35 hours or so into Diablo 4 at level 47 and have been having an absolute blast. However, this isn't surprising for me considering my long-standing love for Diablo franchise on the core system. The series has always been a guilty pleasure of mine. I'm also excited about the cross progression as I was prepared to lose everything in the transition to PC due to the impending arrival of my PC. My once Game of the Year frontrunner, Final Fantasy XVI, no longer excites me as much. Really, though, the only issue is it's scheduled for release only a week before my PC's arrival, and I worry I won't be able to tear myself away from Steam once it gets here. However, I hope that's not the case as I've been genuinely hyped for the release since its announcement. In addition, I've played the demo and thoroughly enjoyed every second. After beating both parts, I went back and experimented with accessories. Surprisingly, the game allows for one-button playstyle where not only one can you perform combat actions with a single button, but it makes your character feel like an absolute god. While I have no interest in Street Fighter, I must commend what Capcom has done with Street Fighter 6. Seeing this, I believe Tekken and Soul Calibur will have to elevate their gameplay, which excites me as a fan of both. I recently came across a mention of BattleBit Remastered drawing comparisons with Battlefield. Although I was initially put off by Minecraft Roblox-esque visuals, I might give it a closer look, especially after all the praise it's been receiving. Definitely check it out. Don't let the graphics fool you. Regarding Phantom Liberty, I'm generally quite excited. I'm eager not only for new content, but also for the speculating confirmed fixes and additions coming to Cyberpunk. Like Chevy, I never finished the game, not due to performance issues. I played it on PS5 and it ran mostly smoothly, but due to aspects I felt the game lacked. Despite enjoying much of the game, I was disappointed in many other areas. That being said, I'm looking forward to experiencing both Cyberpunk 2077 and Phantom Liberty from scratch with new character on a new platform with optimism that I'll be experiencing Cyberpunk at its best. Regarding Armored Core, it was never a series that resonated with me. I played the first two games, but they never really captivated me, despite knowing many people who were obsessed with the franchise. There's nothing inherently off-putting about the series premise, so I can't pinpoint why it didn't click with me as much as the aspects of the game I found to be very fun. However, given what From has achieved over the past number of years, the announcement of Armored Core 6 intrigued me. After watching the gameplay videos, I'm certainly hyped for the full release. Yeah, this is something I keep seeing a lot in terms of the hype behind Armored Core, is whether people have never played it, never heard of it, or weren't really too into the past ones. It seems like everybody is at least hyped on the very proven modern From Software working on anything really. But even with Armored Core, I think it's interesting a lot of people, regardless of their stance on the series. So it's cool to hear. I agree with you about Cyberpunk. Definitely interested in seeing new content and fixes and stuff like that. I do think starting fresh is the way to go, especially if you haven't finished the original game. I have finished it, and I am thinking about just starting a new character, but I also want to just hop right into the new content as well, so we'll see. Also, I'm glad you're enjoying Diablo 4. I am enjoying it enough. I talked about in that episode that you're referring to. I'm not in love with it, and I am a fan of Diablo as well, but I have my criticisms of Diablo 3 as well. So, they have their ups and downs, but it's definitely a high quality game. Let's see, what else did you talk about? Oh, fighting games. Street Fighter. that is one thing I've been thinking about is I'm hoping Tekken, because we know that's coming, can bring an experience that is as deserving as Street Fighter 6 in terms of like price point and must play, being a must play game in the fighting genre, because Tekken is looking good. It looks like Tekken. I'm definitely going to play 100%. But when you're looking at that, when you look at what Mortal Kombat's been doing for years now, these are full featured games. And so, if they're costing, full price $70, any other fighting games coming out that don't really touch the same kind of area as them, doesn't mean they're not worth it, but it is starting to bring up a question of like, what should we be expecting for a full priced fighting game? So hopefully Tekken can bring it in that regard. I do think the gameplay will bring it. And as for Soul Calibur, I really hope we get an announcement after Tekken for new Soul Calibur, and I hope it's built from the ground up. I want it to feel like a brand new Soul Calibur, because it does feel like we're in the next generation of fighting games. It really does feel like that, and I want Soul Calibur to reflect that as well. So, and then definitely check out BattleBit Remastered. I saw you comment on my TikTok that you're definitely going to pick it up when you get your PC. I would recommend it. It's $15, and it's a lot of value for $15. As long as you can get past the visual style, it is a full-featured game and a lesson for AAA companies on what you should be trying to offer your audience if you want them to be excited about your game. So, yeah, I think I addressed most of the stuff you said. Also, I'm excited for your PC. Welcome back to the PC Gaming Master Race, and Final Fantasy 16. No longer as excited, because Steam. That's fair enough. But have you played it since it released? Let me know in the comments. We have to add.
I would just say, new PC or not, I would implore you to play 16. So.
Yeah, I'm sure he's picked it up. Hopefully by now, because this is before it came out, he's played it and maybe can elaborate on his thoughts on it in general. But yeah, unless you have anything else to say. Thank you for the big comment that my eyes were just really working on focusing on these sentences. Thank you for the comment. Last comment we got from Jacob Blymer is this guy's face when they see the first gameplay trailer. It is so bad, ain't nothing compared to superior From Software. Western devs suck ass. From Software are the only company in gaming industry I trusted. I only play their games. So hope AC6 will be another masterpiece. Which guy is he talking about?
I don't know.
Which guy is he talking about? Yeah, I think AC6 will be great. I have a good feeling about it. From Software isn't missing anytime soon, it seems. And yeah, it might be another masterpiece. I hope it is. I hope it gets praised just as much as all their Souls-like games that they've been working on. Because I would love a big, fat fucking W for Armored Core. Because I've been waiting a long time for this. And I would just love for it to come out and just be praised. But at the very least, if I like it, that's all that matters. But I would love to see a bunch of people really excited about it. As for Western devs, suck ass, I think you make that argument for different regions and different devs in those areas. But if you do have a specific thing you're looking for in gaming, it's sometimes easier to narrow down the devs you prefer. And, if you're more of a Japanese dev fan, makes sense. And if you're just a From Software fan, that makes sense as well. But there's definitely some high quality, high talent Western devs out there as well. So, yeah, you got anything to say to that? Okay. Thank you for the comment, Jacob Blymer. Thank you, everybody, for your comments. And make sure to comment on this video. We'll do it all over again. And stay tuned. Later this week, we have Game of the Month and Plus Club. We'll be talking about the games from PlayStation Plus. And Chevy will be picking his Game of the Month for next month. What will it be? I'm hoping for one game, but I will accept any games. It's his pick. But yeah, that's going to do it for this episode, though. I've been Seth. Thank you for joining me, Chevy, for this episode. And thank you guys for joining us. Until the next episode, have a good one. Take it easy. Let's go with the outro as I hit the mic. All right, that's going to do it for this episode of TasteCast 189. As always, thank you for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe if you enjoyed this episode. Make sure to check out our other episodes. Check us out on our socials and streams, link down below. Check out our Discord, link down below. You can talk to us anytime, all the time. We're on iTunes, Spotify, and other podcast platforms. If you prefer to listen to us in audio form, we have a Patreon if you'd like to support the channel. More than liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing if you're brand new. And I have a TikTok link down below. You can watch my shorts that I put out every week about more current bite-sized topics that are happening now. I would put them on YouTube, but YouTube won't let me do it for some reason, so whatever. But I've been Seth, and until next episode, have a good one, guys, and take it easy.